welcome back everyone and good afternoon. Welcome to Edu Advisor's webinar series, part of the Edu Advisor Virtual Education Fair, where academicians and industry professionals will weigh in on a number of topics, ranging from choosing an education pathway to jobs and careers. My name is Nina, and today we have Dr. Fatimah Ibrahim, Head of Section in Food Engineering Technology at UniKL Mindset, who will be sharing with you on the topic of food technology. Save food, save lives. Quality today, wealth tomorrow. Now I'll just bring our speaker for today into the stream. Hi, Doctor.
Hi, Nina.
How are you? How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. So just a quick introduction about our speaker today. Dr. Fatimah Ibrahim is a senior lecturer and currently heading the Food Engineering Technology section at University Kuala Lumpur Malaysian Institute of Chemical and Bioengineering Technology. She received her PhD in Chemical and Process Engineering from University of Leeds in the UK. Her research interests include solid-state chemistry, crystallization of solid forms, pharmaceuticals, particles engineering in silico modeling for understanding mechanical properties of materials. She is passionate about materials' physiochemical properties at molecular levels and its influence on the observed micro properties. Wow, we have a tongue twister right there. All right.
Yeah, it's complex when you mention it. It's very
Yeah, exactly. All right, Doctor, you can prepare your slides first. You can just get ready. Just a quick note to our audience, for those of you watching, if any questions for Dr. Fatimah, do leave a comment and we'll get them answered at the end of the session. So don't forget to check out University Kuala Lumpur's virtual booth while you're at the fair. All right, Doctor, anytime whenever you're ready, I'll just pull your slide into the stream and you can start presenting.
Okay, thank you, Nina. Thank you, everyone, for having me today, and thank you for being in this session. So my name is Siti Fatimah, and I'm from University Kuala Lumpur, UniKL. And for this session, I will be talking about safe food, safe life, quality today, and wealth tomorrow. Okay, so this is an overview of my sharing for today. I will begin by defining what is food safety and food quality, and then why is it important to us, and how does it impact our lives actually. For that is for the first part, and for the second part, I will just briefly introduce you what UniKL can offer you. I also introduce you a little bit on our UniKL Mindset Homegrown program. So before we jump into the sciences and food safety and quality, I will just introduce a little bit about UniKL, University Kuala Lumpur. So we are a government-linked university, GLU, and as you see in the emblem, we actually UniKL was established in on the 20th of August 2002, and we pledge to be entrepreneurial university, and we are a higher TVET university as well. And the unique thing about UniKL is we are in the same organization, but we are not under the same roof. So for UniKL, we have 12 campuses across Malaysia from north to south, and we also have campuses in centers as well. So for my campus and for each of these campuses, they actually have one specialization, or we call it as the faculty or schools. You can name it as that as well. So for my campus, we are in Malacca, so Malaysian Institute of Chemical and Bioengineering Technology, or the short form is MICT, Mindset. All right. So I begin with my sharing session for today. So the first one I would like to ask, is your food safe? And how can you actually ensure the food that you consume is safe? So this is something that is very critical, because we consume food and it actually impacts towards our health and well-being, right? So how can we actually make sure that what we put into our body is something that is safe? So that is where the food safety program comes in, because we want to have something that is safe for us to consume, that will not compromise our health and well-being. And for this, there's a food safety program that what we call as, for example, if you can see on the packaging of food products, is GMP, HACCP, And on top of that, for Malaysia, we do have Halal Certification as well. So all of this actually plays a role when you see all of these logos on printed on your packaging of food product. You will feel a little bit confidence, and it might be one part of ensuring that the food that you will consume are safe. Okay, so I'll begin with what is food safety and what is food quality. And food safety is actually an act of or routine for preparing, for handling, and for storing the food in order to prevent foodborne illnesses. So remember, when we want to have safety, it relates to preventing foodborne illnesses to take place. So that's the aim of the food safety program. And what is food quality actually? So food quality relates to the attributes of the food product or the characteristic of the food product that is acceptable to consumers. For example, if we look into the if you for the if we take example as a pedal pop ice cream, so it's like a rainbow color, but suddenly you don't when you open the packet, you see that it's not in rainbow color, it's just red. So that is not acceptable for pedal pop ice cream, right? Because you know that for pedal pop ice cream you are expecting it to have that rainbow color for your ice cream. So that is an example of attributes of quality of the food product that you expect. So that is for food quality. So it can be said that one part food safety is to ensure the consumer, one is to keep the consumer safe, and the other part is to keep the consumer happy, because you want to have this quality of food, you want to have that texture of muffin that you ate. All right. So for these two food safety programs, there are two main generally accepted food safety program globally. That is Good Manufacturing Practice, GMP, as you can see in the diagram below, GMP, and also an extended version of it, which is HACCP, Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. So GMP built the foundation for this food safety program with five themes, or we call it as 5Ps. This covers all the people or person, the food handlers that producing the food or handling the food, the product itself, the process, the procedures, and finally the premises. So for this food safety program, it covers and it elaborates the elements that needed for a food to be produced in the life cycle as safe and consumed. When we sell it in the market, it is safe to be consumed. So it covers all. So you can see it covers all of the area, from the people who handle it up to the premises which producing it. And for Malaysia, we have our Kementerian Kesihatan, KKM, or Ministry of Health, who oversees all of this. And there are also few other certification bodies. So I will just put some logo, for example, for this. This one is from MOH themselves for GMP. So if you apply for GMP certification from KKM, then you're going to get this logo printed on your packaging or product. And for HACCP, on the other hand, it builds upon the GMP theme just now. So for HACCP, it's actually looking into identifying the critical control points. So it is to avoid hazards to take place. These hazards include biological hazard, chemical hazard, physical hazards, and the latest edition is allergen hazard. So for example, hazards is like sometimes you buy kueh, right? The desserts are from street vendor, right? And this kueh, what do you call, the one that is wrapped with pandan leaf, and then they staple it. So that is an example of a potential physical hazard. So can you imagine if you have a very large production, food production, manufacturing, who produce about 1,000 of desserts daily? So how are they going to control all of these hazards? So they establish this HACCP or the safety program, so that they can have a standard operating procedures and they can control the movement of the production. So the bottom line is for us to produce a safe food for human consumption, and also free from hazards that may compromise the health of the consumer. So why is it important? So because this is based on, I retrieved this information from the UN website for World Food Day article 2021. So about 600 million across globe people who are infected through foodborne illnesses. That's a huge number, 600 million. And from this 600 million, 40% of them, 40% of them are children, kids under the age of 5 years. So can you imagine, like, the small kids who have like food poisoning or maybe diarrhea, and sometimes these foodborne illnesses can lead to a very critical condition that led to death. So from this 40%, 125,000 of deaths were reported yearly for these kids under 5 years age. So can you see how important and how is it critical for us to have safe food being produced and being given to all the consumers, right? So and on top of that, 420,000 of deaths yearly were reported for the other classes of age. So this is why food safety is very, very crucial, and the access to have a good and safe food is very much needed. Okay, and this is what happens if you have an unsafe production of food. It may lead to foodborne illnesses from a small community, then it goes to outbreak, and we have food poisoning, diarrhea, acute poisoning, meningitis, and sometimes it can lead to multiple organ failure because if everyone can recall, previously there's the cases where this group of people ate a dessert, and it actually the eggs that been used to make that dessert were contaminated with salmonella, and what it does is it makes about 99 individuals affected by that condition, foodborne illnesses, and what happened, one of them died because of multiple organ failure. So that's how critical is food safety. So you need to have a food that is safe to consume so that we don't have to face and we can reduce all of this. So based on a report from the MOH, the numbers for food poisoning were sliding from 2019, whereby for 2020 there's only 200 cases were reported. Compared to 219, there were about 500 plus cases reported. So basically, we already have the awareness from time to time, but we still need to have that more awareness so that we can actually have a condition where there's minimal foodborne illnesses can be reported. Besides impacting the individual, unsafe food can also infect the manufacturer as well. For example, if you there were cases reported whereby the products that being produced were contaminated with bacteria, so the company need to trace. Luckily, the company has a traceability program, so standard procedures, so they can trace back all the batches that involved with that contamination. So they need to recall all the products that are on the shelf, take it back, and then maybe produce a recall note so that people won't consume it because it may lead to foodborne illness. So this recall costs thousands and billions of losses to the company, and also the most hard to recover is the reputation of the company itself, because once it is tarnished, it is a little bit hard for the company or the manufacturer to gain the trust of the consumer back. So that's why it is very important for the food to be produced at a very good quality as well as safe, because the effect of it, they may lose millions and billions of money. Right? So do you know what's in your food? So now we already know that food safety is very important and the quality itself. So Are we aware what's going in into our body? Yeah, so do you know what's in your food? So how do we know about the ingredients? So for us to know about the ingredients, we know usually I will tell my students we need to know what is our materials. We need to know the properties of it so that we can control how it will behave later on or how the properties of it will show later on after certain processes. So we want to know about ingredients, we look into its chemistry, we look into it, we do some study on microbiology, we have the processing and preservation because we want to make a safe food, and then we have a food sensory to test the quality of the food that we produce, and also we do some analysis so that we know and we can come up with the nutrition facts at the back of your food packaging. So I will touch a little bit on this from the perspective of engineering technologists. So we do learn all of this stated subjects here. And you know, when we want to produce, just now I mentioned about we producing about 1,000 of products or maybe more than that per day. Then how are we going to make sure that every single one have the same quality, have the same attributes that we want? So that's why we have a food process engineering where we can design our equipment so that we have that particular properties that we want onto our product. And for example, for this one, you see, we want to produce a frozen shepherd pie. We put it into a tunnel oven, and how long this tunnel oven would be so that the food is cooked enough so that it is safe to be consumed. So there, everything is going on behind the scene. So consumer only see when the product is ready, but what's going on behind the scene, uh, they need to read on, and also because what's going on behind the scene, it's only the process engineer or process technology or food technology who's handling the food that knows about it. So, but then it's very important for us to at least understand the condition about food so that we know that okay, this is enough, and then this is what's going on, and if there's a preservative being added in, why, and then what's the limit of preservatives that can be added in into our product and stuff. So by having this, we can control all the parameters, also the energy consumption. And we mentioned about preservation. So we want the food to be safe and want it to be able to be consumed for a very, in terms of a period of time. So there's a few ways of doing the food processing as well as maintaining the preservation. So for example, for freezing or maybe for producing, we take example if you want to produce an ice cream. So if you want to produce ice cream Malaysia, that's a different ingredients you add in. And also there's a different way of freezing it. But if you want to produce soft ice cream, for example, the one that is being sold in Baskin Robbins or Haagen Dazs, then you need an overrun ratio, whereby this overrun ratio is something that gives you the texture, the safety texture when you consume it. So this is all tied up to the quality of the food product being produced. So it needs understanding and knowledge, and it's a little bit fun because once you are in there and it's like opening a Pandora box, because food ingredients is complex, especially for those that is perishable. So if you want to produce it, you need to know which ingredients is suitable for which processes. Okay, and for this, we cannot take the concept of one should fit all. So we need to look into what is our ingredients, and then what is the chemistry of it, what is the properties of it, and then we can design what is the process that is suitable for that particular ingredient or food product that you want to have. So other than that, you have sterilization, you have resort, pasteurization. This one you can see in your dairy products, they have pastured cheese or milk, and then pasteurization, UHT, ultra high temperature. And also, if you want to fry, there are a lot of methods. Is it vacuum frying, deep frying, normal frying, air frying? For each of these, they will produce a different quality of product. So for each, you need to understand how the process goes, and from there we can decide which ingredients or food materials or food product that is suitable with that process. Okay, so once we do that, sometimes we have a product development, innovation development, so that the quality of the product that we have can be continuously developed, because at one point the market would be saturated, right? So people expect to have something new, something different, and we can see this happen in our daily life. For example, for KFC, they always have a different flavor coming, and now KNW, they have this green chili. So they have this innovation so that it is not static or stagnant for their businesses as well. So for innovation development, we will look into the same thing. We're going to do analysis, food analysis, and then we understand the chemistry, and then we do testing for food sensory to see acceptance of consumer on our new product development. So when we do testing, I particularly take this example because I want to show you. If you look into Pringles crisp, the shape of the crisp is not flat. It's actually engineered to be in that particular shape so that it can maintain a certain attributes, which is the crispiness, and also the name of that shape, if it looks like a saddle-like shape of the crisp. Okay, and that is actually hyperbolic paraboloid, whereby if you have that, when they stack the crisp in the tube, it will not slide on top of each other. If you can imagine, you have a flat Pringles and you just keep on top of each other, it's very hard for them to do the large scale production. So we have this kind of design so that it makes it easier, and it is the operating of the production of that Pringle would be easier. Okay, and if you notice, if it break, the crisp will not break in symmetrically, it just breaks chips everywhere, and this is because of this type of shape. So when you know your ingredients for food, you can do and design and innovate anything, and you can control how you want the final product looks like. So that's the reason we need to understand our ingredients and our product, because it will actually relate and feedback to the food safety as well as the quality of the product that you are producing, because you can control the product, the manufacturing of the product. So from there we can see how if we produce a safe food, it will save a lot of lives, and if we have a quality being implemented, the quality that we want, it will give you wealth, because people will buy your product because that's what they expect to have. And it may take a while for us to establish this food safety and quality program in the production, but it is worthwhile to have food safety and quality, because if you have HACCP, you can export it to international market, then you have a bigger consumer and marketability. All right, so the importance of food safety, we have a food safety day, and it's actually on last Monday, 7th of June. So United Nations proclaimed 7th of June of each year will be World Food Safety Day. All right, and the theme for this year is actually safe food now for a healthy tomorrow. So it relates back to the well-being of individual and consumers. So this part and my first part, which is about the food safety and quality. And if you want to know more about food safety and quality, you can head on to the Ministry of Health webpage. They have a specific division for food safety and quality, food safety and quality division in the Australia. They have all this food safety program, the regulations and stuff that you can go and have a look. All right. So I'll begin with my second part, but before I begin, I would like help from Nina to just play a very, very short, brief introduction video for UniKL my side. It will be less than a minute. So please stay with me. All right, so thank you, Nina. Okay, so that's briefly about UniKL and my CET mindset. So this is a little bit on our achievement for UniKL. So for this year, we managed to get to put our name on the map. So for QS ranking, we are ranked about 801 to 1000, and in Malaysia, we are number 15, top 15. And then for THE, the Times Higher Education, we are on the 11th for Malaysia and ranked 401. So basically, for High Tibat University, we are really proud of this, and this is some achievement for us. So for UTMI mindset, we are, as I mentioned earlier, we are situated in Malacca. So in for this school or campus, we have a specialization which correlate to the chemical engineering. So we have process engineering technology, where it deals with, for example, oleochemicals, petrochemicals, and all related with petroleum. We have bioprocess engineering technology, which relate to biological sciences, and also, for example, for forensic sciences, and they have this fermenter, all related to bioprocess engineering. And we do have polymer engineering technology. And for polymer engineering, they deal with plastic, rubber, advanced materials, and we have another one, environmental engineering technology. So this is somewhat like the in field, which is sustainable energy. They deal with all the environmental related subjects. And we also have the pure chemical engineering. And we also, on top of that, we have one technical foundation. So in UniKL mindset for all of this, we offer diploma program and also bachelor program for each of the specialization. So for food engineering technology as well, we have diploma and also bachelor degree. And there's one new member for our department, and I will speak about it a little bit later. And it's fresh from the oven, actually. Okay. So for UniKL, we focus on hands-on. So we have total of 36 laboratories. Remember, we are only one school here at Malacca. So it's one specialization or one faculty. So we have 36 laboratories. We have 2 workshops. We have one chemical pilot plant, and we have one dedicated good manufacturing practice pilot plant. And we also have one food manufacturing incubator in Kepong. And for the dedicated GMP pilot plant, for say we have one food line for production. This is like mimicking the SME's factory, food factory, yeah. But the one in Kepong, they have 10 lines of food manufacturing. 10 lines of food manufacturing lines. Yeah, so we have like for frozen food, we have for croissant, we have for cookies, we have for sparkling. So all of these lines, they have a complete equipment to produce that particular product. For example, sparkling juice. So we have the full line there, so that students can use it as what we term it as teaching factory. And this is the one that I mentioned earlier. This is our new member, fresh from the oven. So this one, because we realize the importance of the food safety and food quality. So we developed a new program specifically for food safety and quality technology, so that we can fulfill the need and demand for that particular area. Okay, so this program would be for 3 years, and for this one, we adopt a new initiative, which is 2U1I. You're going to spend, the student will spend 2 years at university learning theories, and then 1 year, one final year at our partnering company. So for this program, we develop it with collaboration with QSR brands, and they help us and they are involved during the development of the curriculum. So it is structured and it's actually tailored to the industry needs. So what happened is during that 1 year, students will be evaluated and credit will be given, but it's not like a conventional final examination. They will be evaluated through their work-based learning. So it will be based on rubrics and what they did at the industry. On top of that, for this program, we actually embed a professional certificate, which is Halal Executive. So if it currently, you have to take it as an add-on certificate because you need to pay. And usually before COVID, if it's face-to-face, the cost of this certificate or training would goes up to 3,000 plus, 2,000 plus to 3,000. But now everything is embedded in this program, and it is covered by the fees as well, and also the food handler certification, because we at MySet, we are certified by JAKIM to train halal executives, as well as we are certified as school for food handling training. Okay, so the highlight for the courses for this program is food security, food safety, toxicology, and if the student want to be an entrepreneur, they have this technopreneurship, innovation management. It doesn't mean that you need to work with someone else. You can be an entrepreneur yourself, but you need that knowledge for you to fly. Okay, and we learn about supply chain management systems and other food safety legislation. And these are the requirements, the entry requirements. Is just SCPN, matriculation, as diploma, and the career prospect. You can be a food safety specialist, you can be halal executive, and this halal executive is not limited towards the manufacturing of food company, but you can go into hotel, because I have students who work in hotel as the halal executive. Okay, and also you can go into R&D as well. And these are the program. We have our foundation right now is open for registration, and our food diploma program. So if you have anything to ask, you just can text and WhatsApp the number on the top, or maybe you want to directly contact me for food programs, then you can go to our website, or you can go to our you can follow our IG or Food Club MySet. So we have all the details there, and also the details of academicians as well as the technical people who work for this department. So you can email me directly with it. So it's all right. And this is the field for food processing industry. You can go to confectionery, dairy products, snacks, beverages, spices and flavoring, packed foods, frozen foods. It's vast industry. It is very, very vast industry. And this is the employment statistics. So for this 2021, I picked it up from Department of Statistics. If you can see, for food processing, beverages, tobacco products, it is the highest with rate of vacancy, which is 5.2%, similar to petroleum, chemical, rubber, and plastic. So there's the demand for petroleum or chemicals industry, and it's part of the higher field that needs the your expertise. Yeah, so this field. So if you can see on your right top, it's the employability study by KPT, and if you can see, we are at 95% employability rate for this. But if as a whole, remember for UniKL, nine of the campuses managed to get 90% and above for employability rate. So if we add all these 9 campuses or 12 campuses together, actually the rate for the sample size for UniKL is actually more than 3,000, and the rate of employability is more than 90%, 95%. Okay, and yeah, so producing safe food is our priority, and we are ready. So are you? So if you want to be ready like us, come and join us at UniKL. And this is if you don't want to be on the floor doing all the processes, then you can be in the lab. You can be a R&D researcher. Okay, so this is our GMP pilot plant. We have our vacuum cooking vessels with a capacity of 40 liters. We have on the bottom bit left hand side, it's the cooking vessel that we have. It's 60-liter capacity. We have automated filling machine. We have metal detector, and we have our own retort with capacity of 50 kilograms. We have extruder. Extruder, you can produce your spaghettis, your pastas, and everything. So, and also we have a 3D scanner and printer. So all of this is for the food processes life cycle. So we do have the whole full line, complete line in our dedicated GMP pilot plant. So yeah, this is the key subject and our happy students learning about food, yeah, because it's dear to our heart. So it's very, very interesting for us to know, oh, this is what I consume. So how does it happen like this? If you fry a curry puff, then why is it turn brown? What happened actually? So yeah, so we do have this key subject. We're going to learn about HACCP as well. And this list of professional certifications which can actually add your skills for your CVs later on. So besides the formal education, we do have the soft skills. We did some CSR activities, and this particular activities is for planting trees at Botanical Garden Malacca. And besides planting trees, they do these activities with public to engage with public. Yep. So this is another lab, which is the PGMP Lab, and all of our lecture room are equipped with smart boards for ease of learning, teaching and learning. So at the bottom bit there is our workshop, our library, and we do have our dedicated training rooms where students can use. And because of we are higher TVET and technical university, we really emphasize on industrial engagement. So we do this frequently. So we have session with alumni, sharing session. We have industrial-based final year project. We have industrial-based projects. We have prominent speaker sharing session. And sometimes we invite the industrial people to be an assessor for for projects, student projects as well. So this shows our like a symbiosis, right? We exist together so that we know that okay, this is what the industry wants. So we don't teach the students, like without knowing what they want actually. So at the bottom there, you can see we have the teaching factory as well as industrial mentoring. And they also have the possibility to go for mobility, international mobility, for semester or 1 year. And also, there's people coming in to us as well. So this is our international students where we have dinner with them, we have activities with them. I have students from Tanzania, from Maldives, from Indonesia. So this will give our students, the local students, some exposure about the international stuff. And also, we believe that learning should be fun. So we do have a lot of activities with students. We have a lot of society as well. We have for baseball, rugby. We also have a gymnasium just refurbished this year. So we have all this campus lifestyle for the students to enjoy themselves during their learning time. So we have cultural day, and we also have our lantern festival, color run, and also we are actively engaged with STEM STEM education and STEM activities with secondary schools, primary schools, and other institutions as well. Yeah, and this is our, can I say it, like a homegrown activity, which is Camp ICA. So basically, this somewhat like falls under the STEM activities as well, whereby if you like to design and innovate something, you may be interested to join this competition, whereby you're going to build a car that can move without using conventional, using fuel or battery. So you need to use like a chemical reaction so that it can move for a certain distance. So yeah, it's always fun learning things. And yeah, that's it. So this is our mature team. They are always mature. So this is our marketing team. So if you have more, wanted to ask more, then you can contact them through this number. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. I'll just remove your screen. All right. Can you hear me, Doctor?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now that we've already nearing the end of the session, let's just take a look and see what questions our audience have for us. Just look at your right hand side in the comment section. I have to scroll a little bit.
Right. Okay. So just go over it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there's one question about, can I know what is the eligibility
Mm-hmm.
to be in this course?
Yes.
So, Bashira, so if you mean from a diploma, then you need to have at least credit in 3 subjects, one in maths, one in any sciences or technical subject, and one in other or any other subjects, and you need to pass in English. So that's for diploma program. And for this food safety quality program, so as I showed previously, so you need to have a SCPM because it's a degree level, so you need to have SCPM or maybe foundation, and yeah, and diploma in related fields.
All right. Doctor, just a quick one. You sound perfectly fine, but somehow your video is stuck.
Is it stuck now? Can
Yeah,
you? Yeah.
yeah. Do you mind just stop? Yeah. All right. Now it's okay. Yeah. Now it's good. Just I was a bit stuck for a bit. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. Now I think we can move on to the
So,
second question.
okay. So, do you really need strong science background to go into food tech? I would say not really,
Okay.
because what we offer here. So you have to bear in mind that for UniKL, we emphasize on hands-on. So it's 60% hands-on and 40% theoretical. So basically, I have students previously who comes from, they don't have a science background, but they thrive and they are surviving, and sometimes they got a dean's list as well. So for me, it's not about the background. It's just as long as you meet the requirements to and fulfill the requirements to go into the program, and it's all a different thing, which is you just need to work, and because learning in the university would be slightly different compared to school, right? So you just need to work harder maybe, and you just do. If you don't understand, you come to your lecturers and you have your study groups, and inshallah you will be fine.
All right. All right. Should we move on to the next question, Doctor?
So this is about GMO, food technology in GMO, but I'm not that expert with this, so because I'm more onto the engineering bit, so
Mm.
I would say I would let this be answered by an expert maybe.
All right. All right. Okay. No worries. No worries. We can move on. We
Yeah,
can move on.
yes, that's why.
All right. Want to scroll a little bit, Doctor? You got a lot of supportive messages in the comment section
All
here.
right. So, what's the best pathway to take before going into food technology? Diploma or foundation in science? I would say this for Teresa. It would depend on the result that you have. Because if how I can say this. So, if for diploma you have longer time, so it will depend on the results and your capability, I guess. So you know yourself. Can you take it for a year, or for you need more time so that you can spend more time and score in your results. So it will depend on the STM result, and also depends on you yourself. So you want more time or you want the fast track it. So yeah, because for foundation, our entry requirement is 5G, and at least you pass in maths and science. So yeah, so you can be either. So you can be, if you want
All
to
right.
do foundation, and if you are meeting the requirement, then yep, you can do
All
it.
right. All right. Okay. What did answer the student's question?
Okay. There's one question about pursuing master level at UniKL mindset
Yes.
in food, right? So, so basically, currently, for master in, I mean, we don't have a specific master program for food technology, but we're going to have it next year, which is short course. So it will be food master in food processing innovation, inshallah. But at the moment, we have master in chemical engineering by research. So if you want to know more about this, you can contact me because you want to know more about the food subject, then you can contact me.
All right. Okay. Got it. I think
Alright.
also just a quick one, Doctor, for the student Siti Nor Shahira. If you have any questions about this, you can also hit the UniKL's booth at our virtual fair. Speak
Yes.
to any representative, any questions we have, and they'll have the answers for you.
Yep, that's true.
All right.
Alright, so we have a, oh, this is about like fun food. Uh, says here, is it true that frying food with air fryer is much healthier and safer than frying with oil? So, uh, I believe if you are, I mean, if you are on a strict diet, yes, it is because when you use air fryer, you don't have the you
Oil.
eliminate the
Mm.
oil. Yeah, the oil effect. But then, if you want to have a certain quality of your food product, you may opt to have a frying approaches, right? So I mean, in oil frying, but then you can design it to be like vacuum frying maybe,
Mm.
or a deep fry, and then you control the time so that it will not be long in the deep fry. So everything is actually you can learn and control it and design your process.
All right. I have a question too on top of this air frying question. I feel like recently, when the lockdown happened, a lot of people are going online and buying all this, gadgets, all this food
Yes,
appliances,
yes.
and air fryer was one of it.
Everyone
It was
is
very, very
a chef
famous.
now.
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. But there's also stories going around that air frying, like they are guidelines to it. Like if you cook it for too long, unlike all frying, you can cook it whenever you want.
Yes,
But unlike air frying, if you cook it for too long, it could sort of create these harmful chemicals from the food
that's
itself. Like,
true.
what's your take on that thing? Like, so are air fryers like healthy? In that sense.
Yeah, so that's why it's in everything you do. If you do it too much or extra, then it may lead to a harmful effect, right? So there's always the moderation towards everything you do. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's my take. So you have to do it in moderate, and you need to follow because, as I mentioned previously, different food they have a different limit.
Yes.
So if you do it beyond that limit, then you're going to lose all the nutrition, and maybe you already turn it into something else. Because food is like a complex material, so we don't know what's going on in it. So you
Right.
make it, yeah. So if you do it further, then there's a different chemical reaction happening, and it may lead to a toxicity or something that is harmful.
I
Yes.
see. All right. All right. All right. Got it. I got it. Just gonna take on a
So
few more questions. I think there are a few more questions here.
Yeah, this one is, I already take diploma in food technology. If I decide to pursue in bachelor in food safety, how much credit hours that I can say, okay, diploma to bachelor. Alright, so Fadlin Sakina. So if you already taken the food technology subject, I would say about credit transfer, it is case to case basis, so I need to look at your transcript because we need to do the analysis for the credit transfer because certain subject they can be transferred if it in the same credit hours or higher. So we need to look into. So if you want to know more, you can contact me, and then we can do the comparison about the credit transfer. But at the time, yeah, so if you know more about credit transfer specifically for your program, then please contact me, and I will do your credit transfer, and you know the potential of credit transfer that you can get.
All right. Okay. I think Fadlin second has another question. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna click on it.
Food still eligible. Okay. All right. So yes, it's still eligible. So we still have the Bachelor in Chemical Engineering food, and this is an additional course in food section. So we have a new course for food safety and quality. So we have two bachelor courses for food engineering
Mm.
section.
All right.
Yeah, I guess.
I have
Yeah.
a question. Just separately. It's in regards to your the halal executive, the halal program. Let me just see my question because I typed it down somewhere. Because I was very curious about this. You mentioned something about food safety and the halal certification. How does the process go? Like, is there a different guideline with checking food safety for halal food and regular food? Because it seems like there's like a separate, I guess,
Okay.
yeah.
So halal certification is a different program, and the food safety program is different. So GMP is a different. They have a different element that they check. But if you have a halal food, then you can on top of the GMP program, you can apply for halal certification as well. So that's
Ah,
two certifications. So it's two separate things. So one is from the certification body would be JAKIM, only JAKIM for Malaysia. And for the certification body for GMP, HACCP, you can have CRIM, you can have KKM, and there's a few other certification body as well.
all right. Is there a certain requirement that you need in order to be able to be eligible for the halal certificate?
It needs to be, the food needs to be halal and tayyiban, and also the process needs to be halal. So they will go through up to the supplier of your raw ingredients. So they will check, yeah, they will check if the process is halal, safe and halal.
Oh,
Yeah. So it goes all throughout the life cycle of that process. I mean the food production.
all
It
right.
needs to be
Okay.
halal along the way.
Okay. Yeah. See, now I think I sort of understand the process of it because I'm also
Yes.
confused whenever there's like a food safety and there's like a halal food safety. So I'm like, oh, what's the
Yes.
difference? Yeah. All right.
So that's why sometimes you can see on the packaging you have halal and sometimes you have the
Yes.
HACCP as well.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
And
All
sometimes
right.
you only have the food safety but you don't have the halal.
Mm-hmm. Right, right. All right. I think we've reached the end of our session, Doctor. But just a quick one, just to wrap this session. Do you have any parting words of advice for students who are interested in pursuing, food science and technology, just food engineering? Do you have any advice for STM leavers who are interested?
For those, for the STM level, first of all, congratulations again. So don't worry, this is just a starting point. So if you are successful, then you need to pick you can choose from an option. But if you don't, you are not that, you are unsuccessful. So treat it as the point where you redeem yourself, redemption, right? So food courses and in especially in UniKL mindset, it's actually really fun because you don't have to worry much about because we focus on hands-on, right? So
Hmm.
60%. So as long as you submit your assignments and you do all your projects, and you're going to be fine. So, and also for food, it's something that you eat and consume day to day. It's something that is very close to you. So it is much easier for you to grasp the idea of what's going on. So if you fry a curry puff that I mentioned previously, so it turns brown, and then it will be explained by the scientific explanation behind it. Oh, and then you will say, oh, this is what happened actually. So, what can I do to actually prevent it to be the browning process much further? Then you know what the steps behind it. So, I believe it is a very, very fun course. And if you join us, you can have an opportunity to use to get the real experience of using a industrial, a pilot scale equipment that we have.
All right. All right.
To
Thank you
join
for
us.
that. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that message, doctor. And
All
for
right.
insights and perspective, we hope that our audience has gained some valuable information
Yeah.
from this session, all the Q&A session.
Hopefully.
Yes. And if we were to ever have another VF, doctor, it'll be a pleasure to have you on board with us again, because I feel like I've learned a lot about food technology in this past 1 hour itself.
Hopefully, I can like treat people to come to UniKL mindset and join us.
Yes. All right. Thank you so
It
much,
is
Dr.
fun.
Fatima.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Have a good day to you too.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to our webinar session with Dr. Siti Fatima of UC Kuala Lumpur. Up next, we'll have Miss Shazli American from UNIMI, who will be sharing with you everything there is to know about the RR 4.0 careers and which one should you follow. Now, don't forget to check out UniKL virtual booth while you're at the virtual fair. In the meantime, let's take a look and see what UniKL has prepared for you.